welcome to the online mission making class. We're going to go ahead and get started here. This is the first video of a 4-part series. We're going to go over the basics of making a mission. Today's topics are going to include placing friendlies, placing enemies, vehicles, modules, using the map, and placing down the respawns. So, we're going to go ahead and get started by entering single player and then going to the editor. And today we're going to use the Boots mission or map. So we're going to hit continue, and once it's loaded up, we'll see it's just a blank map. We've got nothing placed down. There's no mission loaded. Okay, we're going to get started with the most basic of things. We're going to place ourselves on the map. So I'm just going to double click here, go to blue 4, USMC, men. I'm going to go to Woodland, Rifleman, and make sure that says player, which it will always say player with the first unit that you place. And there we are. That's our guy. Now one of the things you'll notice is down here we have the preview option that just popped up. So if I were to delete the Rifleman, notice how that goes away. So we're going to go back here, men, Woodland, Rifleman, player, okay. So that's going to be our guy, and we can go preview it. Pretty simple. Default loadout, right where we placed it. Okay. Hit escape, and go to abort. And there we are. Okay. So that's placing ourself down. Now if we want to play multiplayer, what we do is they then go here, we go to non-playable, we change that to playable, and now that'll be an enterable slot on the multiplayer screen. In order to place a friendly that is not going to be playable, or that's just going to be a basic AI, we're just going to leave that non-playable, and there he is. So now this is going to be the default person, this is going to be a possible person that we can play, and this is going to be a non-playable AI unit. Real quick, going to go over how to set groups. So look on the right side here, we have units and then groups. What we're going to do is we're just going to, for this instance, we're going to give this guy his own group. So he's going to go there, and that takes him off of our group. So this is me, this is my AI, we're grouped together. Okay, next little tidbit. We're going to go ahead and give him his own couple guys. We'll give him a playable and a non-playable person. So we'll leave that non-playable, hit OK. Notice how they're close together, so it automatically groups them. Okay, there we go. So now let's say I were to take this guy and make him the player. So notice how I double clicked him and it brought up his options. It's not placing a new guy. Now the one that was the player is now no longer the player. Okay, moving along here, we're going to go ahead and place some enemies down. So this is where we are on this runway, and we're going to just go ahead and put a couple enemies for the sake of it, right up the road. We'll go ahead and put them right here. And we're going to leave him non-playable, and now I want him to have a friend, and we'll give him one more. Okay, this brings us now to our next thing. We're going to, first off, we're going to take this guy. I don't want him all to be rifleman, so we're going to make him a RPG guy. We have an RPG 18 on him. Now we're going to take these three, and I don't really want them facing that way. I want them face down the road towards us. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to highlight them by just clicking and dragging. Hold shift, click one of them, and you can spin them around. And just like that, now they're facing down the road. Going over a couple other things, let's say I want to highlight all three. Now I really don't want to move the squad leader guy because I like his place. What I can do is press control and I can click him, and now I only have these two. Now also, if I want to highlight these two and then add another to my selection, I hold Control and highlight a non-highlighted unit, it'll bring it into Control. So now I can do the spin arounds and such as I would seem fit. Alrighty, so using the map is pretty simple. You can do this with units, you can do it with objects, etc. When you place them down, or when you go into their menu, you can see the azimuth. This will adjust their heading as well. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and place some vehicles down on the map. So I want to go ahead and give our guys, we'll give them a Humvee. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to drop down to empty. This means that there's going to be no crew in the vehicle. Then we're going to go down to cars, and we'll go to desert, why not? We'll give them a Mark 19 Humvee and place that down. So now that's going to be an empty Humvee right there. And again, just to recap, I can click this, drag it, hold my shift and drag it, and it will rotate. Or if I release shift, it will move it around. Hold shift again, and it will turn. Now if I want to go to give them, say, a tank, I'm going to go ahead and click on armored. And we'll go down to the M1. Which apparently is in woodland. There it is. Notice that there are friendly and enemy units in the empty section. It does not separate. So for instance, the going into the cars section, we can have various tractors, while at the same time we have SUVs, Pragas, pickups. It's all mixed into one. Okay, and next thing we want to do is go ahead and give these guys just a basic ammo box that they can switch out what they want to use. Now there's a couple different options for this. There's basic ammo, which is what comes with the base ARMA from Bohemia Interactive, and so we could place one of those down. We also have the ACE ammunition up here, that's AE. And this will give us the special ACE modules ones. So some things are going to be like the magic box, which will give you everything in your PBOs, your different mods that are loaded. It'll throw it all into the one. We also would have like the medical supply box, and we'll go through the medical modules in a little bit. And a couple other things as well. Ropes are underneath the ammunition ropes, and that'll be the rope box. Also, if you're looking for Acre radio boxes, those are down here, and that'll have all radios in one crate, and we can place that down as well. Okay, so I don't really want these to be all scattered about and looking ugly, so I'm going to go ahead and just straighten these out. Just do a little tweaking with them. And there we go. Now, next thing we can do is we'll go ahead and place down the modules. Now this is going to be a little bit more complicated, but still pretty simple. Down on the right side here we see below triggers, waypoints, synchronize, markers, and modules. So we're going to go ahead and select modules, and we're going to go to some random part of the map. These don't really matter where you place them. And we're going to go ahead and go primarily to the ACE ones. Now, best thing to do is just go through these one by one, see what you want, see what you don't want, and we can go from there. You know, each time you want to just go through, make sure you get the right ones. So, we don't really care for AI talking. We want the map system. So just hit OK. And then we want to go back. That's on the map system again. So what we want to go to is spare tires and vehicles. That's a very helpful one. can go to the force group markers off or on. Now this will be the ACE markers, the ones that ACE module adds. So we want to take those off because they're a little bit too easy to use. Now the next ones that we want to require ACE because we are running ACE mod. So we want everybody to have that. We're going to go to respawn with the same weapons and mags, so that when you die you come back with the same stuff, not the default. We'll go to the wounds. It's important to enable the wounding system. And going back, we'll have some more wounds here. Everyone can use medkits. We'll go ahead and select that one. Full heal in the field. We'll enable that one. Only medics can use epimorphine if you want to go a little bit more realistic depending on how you want to do things. You may or may not want that. Okay, now ambient animals, since it's a small map and we're doing a little mission here, why not? We'll add ambient animals. That'll add animals throughout the map. Ambient civilian vehicles, ambient civilians, we'll do the original one because this is an original ARMA 2 map. The expansion will add the Middle Eastern ones, Middle Eastern civilians. Ambient combat will basically, when we go around the map, it'll randomly spawn in enemies to fight and stuff, so we're not going to really worry about that. We also have artillery, some different effects and whatnot. Alright, so if we have just about everything, garbage collector cleans up dead bodies, cleans up the server. And that's going to be about it, so we're going to just cancel out. And last thing we're going to do here to finish off this simple mission is we're going to go and give ourselves a respawn. So we're going to go select markers from down here. It's going to be the second to the last one. And we're going to name it respawn_west. And we're going to leave that as empty so it won't actually show up on the map. And the last thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we save our game, save our mission. So we're going to hit save, and we're going to give it a name. We're going to do one, that's T, first, LESSON. Avoid spaces. If you need to do a space, do an underscore. Otherwise it will mess up your file name. And hit OK. Okay, so now what we need to do is adding a little bit of scripting-esque stuff. We're going to need to get that respawn going. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the included mission file on our desktop, and we'll get that out of there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go to our ARMA 2 other profiles, select your name. Okay, now under missions, we'll see the mission that we just saved, which was first lesson.ut. And we're going to go ahead and open that up. Now what you'll notice is it's just a mission file right now. So we're going to go back to the mission folder that is included with the download link. And we're going to go ahead and have a look at the description. One of the things we'll see here are parameters for the respawn. So we're going to definitely need this. Just going to Control-C that, go back to missions, select art, and Control-V it right into here. So now our mission has a description that'll take care of where we're going to respawn and how long the respawn timer is going to be. And we're going to go ahead and adjust that down to 10, and that'll be that. Save. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to need to do is get the init file, because that's going to have the parameters for the Ace Wound system. So we're going to go back to our folder again. We're going to get the init file, which is right here. We're going to ignore the teleport stuff. We're going to go over that at a later time. What we care about right now is the system here. Ace Wounds, preview time. No punish is very important, so that when you respawn it. Alrighty, and no AI equals true is also important. So we're going to go ahead and Control C that, go back to our file, Control V it. Now on this one I'm going to go ahead and just delete out the teleports and hit save, close that. So this is all that's going to be in our mission file, and this is going to be available to you guys in the file pack. So what we're going to go ahead and do is get back into game, and we'll go through the last steps of publishing this mission, getting it into multiplayer, and then we'll play it. Okay, so Alt-tabbed back in. What we're going to do is, since the mission files have changed, just to be safe, I'm going to hit load, go back, select our mission, hit OK, and as you can see, nothing really changed, but the script files hopefully now are loaded if they weren't already. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we have our 3-man enemy there. We're going to go ahead and export this to multiplayer. So we're going to hit save and export to multiplayer missions. And what that'll do is that'll compress all the files, including the mission, as well as the ones that we just added, into the mission PBO, and then we can play it on multiplayer. So we're going to go ahead and hit exit and go to multiplayer. And now we can go ahead and we'll just throw up a new one, and I'll keep it on LAN. And what we can do here is we can adjust our difficulty, veterans, what I usually like, so it won't show the map markers. And then we'll go to Oots, and we'll find our mission right there. We'll hit play. So these are the 3 positions that we had available. So we're going to go ahead and disable AI, because I don't really want them. And continue. Alrighty, so we have our tank right there. We have the Humvee Mark 19. We have all our ammo boxes right around here. And if I click this, the ACE systems seem to be working. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get ourselves killed so we can see the respawn and whatnot. Oh no, there's enemies. Okay, so our life timer's working. It's counting down. And we're just going to go ahead and skip to respawn. Yeah, 10-second wait time, that's good. And here we are back right at our respawn point. Okay. So one of the things is obviously these AI aren't really difficult to take on when they're just placed down. So we'll go a little bit later on. I believe it'll be next next video, we'll go ahead and take a look at how to make them more difficult to fight. But this is a basic mission, and that's about all we had. So, oh, one more thing. We'll go ahead and go over how to find that mission PBO. So we're going to go ahead and Alt-Tab out of game. Okay, and back on the desktop, we're going to go ahead and select our ARMA 2 folder. And if you don't know how to get there, you need to figure that out on your own. Basic root ARMA 2 folder, we're going to go to MP missions, and there's our PBO. So if you want to send this to someone, what you want to do is right click it and add to RAR. Make sure that you compress it so that way you're not losing any data when you send it. So we're just going to go ahead and delete that. And there's our mission. Well, hope you learned something. This covers our basics. Next video is going to cover configs. The one after that will be inits, and the one following will be scripting. So by the time you get through all four, you'll be up and making some pretty good missions. This will cover your basics. And hopefully you can get started on some missions. So good luck and have fun.